Well, hi there. My name is Sunny Brigham, and I am one of the supervisors here at the Nutrition and Herbal Collective. I'm just checking to make sure that my feed is good, and it looks like it is. Okay, so today we are going to talk about a topic that I think, well, I know is important, but we're going to talk about how to choose a social media platform. Now, I want to share a little backstory as to why I chose this topic to talk about today, because what happens is, I always speak from experience, so I'm 100% guilty of doing this exact same thing, is when I see a new nutritionist or even myself, when we all start our businesses or we all start seeing clients, we want to share as much information as possible, because if we think that we're out there and we're present, the people are going to find us. And really what it comes down to is it's not all about being everywhere all at once. It's all about choosing strategic placement of where we are. So what I see often is a nutritionist will pick their business name, and then they will create a Facebook page and then create an Instagram business account. And then sometimes I see that they also do Pinterest as well. And then sometimes TikTok, now that TikTok's kind of all the rage. But that's not always the smart decision. And like I said, I speak from experience. I did the exact same thing. And then I see the complete other end of the spectrum where nutritionists are terrified of getting on social media because they feel that it's a time consumer for them. They get on and they mean to post a few things business wise, and then before they know it, they're kind of enthralled or 275 comments into a post in their neighborhood Facebook page, and it's difficult for them to kind of stay focused. So it's either an all or a nothing approach. But what we need to do is we need to kind of find that happy medium. So first and foremost, when it comes to social media, we want to make sure that we have healthy boundaries. When you get on Facebook or when you get on TikTok or when you get on Instagram, you want to make sure that you're getting on there with a purpose. Your purpose is to schedule or create or comment on your business posts that you have created. The next thing that you want to do is batching. Batching is really, it's a really easy way to make sure that your time that you spend on social media is time that you want to spend on social media. So batching means that you create 2 weeks worth of content and you schedule everything. So you only really need to get on there if somebody comments on one of your things. But the real question is how do you know where you should post? Because it's certainly not everywhere. And it comes down to you have to know your target audience, your target market, and your target audience. You have to understand where do they hang out, because it's not always the place that we think that they hang out. For instance, if I am targeting, a specific population and I think they're going to be on Facebook and I post to my Facebook page all the time and I'm thinking, oh man, nobody's really seeing my stuff or they're not commenting on my stuff. And then I start doing a little research and come to find out that that specific population that I'm trying to target spends all their time on Instagram. And all of that time I've just spent on Facebook is kind of all for naught. And I should be focusing my time and energy and effort onto Instagram. So before you even choose a social media platform, you need to do some initial digging to try to figure out where is it that your target audience or target market or your ideal client resides. Where do they spend their time? And when I say reside, I mean, where do they hang out? Where do they spend their time when it comes to social media? And I always use my husband and I as an example. We are both around about the same age. We're in our 40s. And I hate Instagram. I just don't get it. I don't love it. I don't know how to use it. And that's fine, because when you look at it, it's usually the 20 somethings or the 30 somethings that are using Instagram. But my husband, who definitely does not fall into that demographic, loves Instagram. Like he hates Facebook and he loves Instagram. And so it's different for everybody. It's going to be different for everybody, but you want to go with the majority. So for me, when I did all of this work to figure out where my ideal client spent most of their time, it was on Facebook. the majority of the time that they spent either researching health stuff or looking for health support, or even just getting on social media to catch up with friends and family, was Facebook. So I really didn't put a lot of time or effort into Instagram. I put most of my time and effort into Facebook. Often I would hear people say, like, or, coaches should say, like, oh, you should get on Pinterest. So frequently, and when I say like frequently, I would say probably 3 times a year, I would poll my audience. So send out like a survey or ask them, their thoughts to figure out, am I still targeting the right population? So often I would ask them, do you all use Pinterest? If so, what do you use it for? And I found that the majority of people used Pinterest in my target audience for looking at home decor, which is so funny because that's the only reason I ever use Pinterest. I specifically asked, do you use it to look for health information? And there was maybe 1 or 2 people out of 3,000 people that said, yes, I use it for looking up health information. 1 or 2 people out of 3,000 is not enough to spend that time, energy, and effort over on Pinterest. So if you don't know where you should be spending your time, or you kind of feel like you're all over the place and all of your efforts really aren't getting the traction that it needs or the traction that it deserves, then I would go back to the basics and start asking the people that you are trying to reach, where do you spend your time on social media? It could be, you might have friends or family that are in your ideal client or in your niche or your target audience. You can ask them, do you spend most of your time on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, to try to understand where you should spend that effort, because you want to make sure that your effort is getting in front of the people that you're trying to reach. If you're over here on Instagram and only a small portion of your population is on Instagram, then they're never going to see what the effort that you're putting into on Facebook. So if you don't know where you should spend your time or how to choose a social media platform, you want to make sure that you choose it from a position of being informed of where your audience hangs out. If they're not hanging out where you're posting, you want to reassess and figure out where they're hanging out so that that's where you can post. It may not always be the social media platform that you want to use. It should be the social media platform that your audience is using. I hope that helps. I hope that helps you kind of relook and reassess what you're doing as far as social media goes. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you around.